Hey, if you've been wondering how you can start a business, but you don't have any money or a lot of money at all, I'm going to show you exactly how you can make that happen. Not only have I worked with other business owners in the decade that I've been a business owner myself, I also used to be a former business banker. So I saw a lot of business owners come in and I actually saw how much money they had and if they were able to be successful with their businesses or not. Side note, one way to make sure that you can get the money that you need for your business is making sure that you have a credit profile that the banks can't resist because a high credit score just isn't enough these days. So if you want to learn how to build that credit profile, go down below and check out the High Limit Funding Engine course. Now, I know you've probably heard that most businesses fail due to lack of cash flow or just not having any money. And actually, too much money can actually cause a business to fail. So I'll also show you why chasing big money too soon can also set you back. So let me start by telling you that money is not the first step in starting your business. In my time in working at the bank, I saw business owners come in and get big loans, lines of credit, and fail faster. Some of them failed faster than those that just started lean in their business. And by lean, I mean without a whole bunch of cash and without a whole bunch of credit. So that same job I had as a banker, I left that job, that full-time job, to go and pursue business myself. And I got started in the credit repair industry. Now, while I was at the bank, that's where I discovered that there was a need because there were people that did not have great credit and they didn't know what to do about it. And they would be the ones trying to get money from the bank, but were unable to get anything at all from the bank. Now, that led me to investigate doing credit repair because I already wanted to start a business. And then once I figured out how to do that, I left. And the only thing I had to my name when I left that job was about $2,000 that I pulled out of my 401k. And that money was not enough to take care of the bills. So needless to say, after, less than a month of time, I ran out of money and I was still trying to run this business and do it full time while barely having anything to go off of other than a few customers. But I did have a plan and I did have a strategy that I saw worked because I had people to sign up that wanted the service because they actually needed the service. Now, during that time, there were times where I didn't know what was going to be the next thing I was going to eat. I didn't know where I was going to get gas money from. It was a struggle to pay my bills for quite a good bit of time. But then ultimately, by the end of that year, I ended up doubling the amount of money that I earned compared to my salary at my last job. So I know it's like to start lean and to not have a whole lot of money getting started in your business. My point in all of that is without a plan, money is just going to magnify that issue and then you'll end up blowing through and wasting a bunch of it and still not getting to any profit. But with the plan and money, that accelerates your growth and helps you to get to the promised land a lot faster. So the first thing you need is clarity in what you're going to offer and a strategy around getting that product or service to the market and testing it out. Then you can worry about the money. Now, look, for any business, there are going to be things that you need to get started. You're going to need a EIN number. You're going to need to file your business with the state and get your articles of incorporation. You're going to need a business phone number, a business website, a business email. All of these things, some of them are free, but most of them are going to cost money. Like the things you definitely have to do, which is get your EIN number, well, that's free, and filing your articles of incorporation. There's no way to get around that to legally file your business. The website is probably the last thing on that list, but you need a way for customers to call you. So you need a phone number and also you need an email for them to reach out to you as well. But being online and having that website is also pretty important too. So I do have a playlist down below that you can look at, which is going to be like the business starter pack on everything that you would need in those areas or how to get those items. So check that out if you need more details on that. But once you have those things out the way, you really need to be testing the concept of what it is that you want to offer and sell so that you can know that this is something that is going to work when you actually get into the business and start offering this. For example, you can go to Google Trends and you can type in the service or the product that you offer and you can see what the demand looks like in your city, in your state, and even in America. You can go to social media and you can search the product or service that you offer. You can see what people are offering it. They have an engaged group of followers. If when they post things talking about the service, there are a lot of people interacting with that particular service, you can see the interest, engage the interest in that particular thing that you offer. You can also get out there on social media yourself or on the internet, wherever it might be, and you can say that you're about to offer this service or this product, and you can see if you can get pre-orders, see if people would pre-register their email and name for this product or service that you plan to offer. All of these things are things that you can do for free just to see, first off, if anybody wants to buy into whatever service or product that you plan on offering so that you don't waste your time at all. And another thing you can do once you actually, have people that are reaching out and raising their hands and saying that they want to really see people are interested, you can offer to do the service for them or offer them a free product or two so that they can give you a testimonial. And then that also is going to help you when it comes time to fully launch this thing. And now once you've gotten through that phase of seeing if this is something that people want, offering it to people and letting them raise their hand to say that they want to get it from you, and then getting some testimonials in exchange for doing the service or giving out the product so that you can see that people actually do like the service or the product that you offer, then it's probably a good time to try to go ahead and get some funding for your business. And at this point, if you don't have any money, any cash on hand, one thing that can save you is your credit, but it's not a lifeline. It is a tool that you can use to accelerate the growth of your business. And you want to start doing this using business credit. A lot of times in business, people get started using their personal savings, their personal credit cards, and things can get really tricky doing it that way. Not only can you lower your personal credit score by maxing out your personal credit cards, you can also diminish all the money you have by using all of your savings, because businesses require a lot of money. And in the beginning, you're probably going to be making a lot of mistakes. And that's why you need more available to you to compensate for those mistakes as well as accelerating things. Also, when it comes tax time, you definitely want to make sure that you have been separating your business transactions from your personal transactions, because it can be a lot to dig through your personal credit card statements, trying to weed out what's business and what's personal. Same thing in your savings or your checking account, if it's personal. Not to mention the legal liabilities that can come when you commingle funds between personal and business. But one way having access to extra funding from using your credit is going to help you is because it gives you access to funds to do some things that you might not have had the funds to actually do these things. And these can be activities that actually accelerate the growth of your business. Let's say advertising. Advertising can cost a good bit of money depending on how you choose to do it, whether it be, radio, TV ads, Facebook ads, however you want to do it. If you have access to more capital, you can get more advertising and you can get more customers. If having more inventory allows you to get a discount by ordering more, if you have access to more funds, you can get bigger discounts on your inventory, and maybe you have more inventory on hand to ship things out quicker when customers place orders. If you have so much business coming in that you can barely take on everything by yourself, but you don't know how you're going to afford employees, having extra capital on hand can help you to afford those employees that you can put in place to do some of the things to help you to grow your business. Now, the problem that some people run into is that they just want to get as much money as they possibly can. And if you have that much money without a plan, again, that's going to lead you to some trouble. But being disciplined and actually coming up with a strategy for, okay, I know my products cost this much, or I know I need to pay this much a month, or I know I would need to invest in this to grow my business. Knowing what those costs are and then getting not just what you need, but getting a little bit more than what you need is actually going to be helpful to making sure that you account for any mistakes that happen, any extra costs that you did not know. So more than likely, there are some costs that you did not think about that might be associated with your business. So getting more than what you need is still going to be helpful to make sure you have some extra cushion there. You just want to make sure that you don't get caught up in what a lot of people get caught up in, thinking, oh, I can just get as much as I want to. And then they go and try to get about $500,000 and they don't need anywhere near $500,000. So just, again, having plan and strategy helps you to get a little bit more than what you need so that you can be prepared for all things, but not too much where you're tempted to overdo things. And I would say in any business, having at least 50,000 or access to that much is going to be a good place to be, to know that you have enough to cover mostly anything that you might actually find out that you need in your business, or that might help your business to grow, or that will help you to sustain your business until you start making profits that you want to make. Almost all of the businesses that I have great success, they didn't avoid credit. They actually used it, and they used it strategically. So that is what you want to do. Also, in that high limit funding engine that I mentioned to you, which is down below, I also show you strategies to get anywhere from 50 to 200K in business credit so that it does not report on your personal credit profile, and you learn ways to use that credit strategically. So again, check that out down below. There are even tools in there to help you if you need to fix some errors on your credit report. Now, if you want to know some of the best options for funding to get for your business, go ahead and check this video or check out this video, which YouTube thinks you might like. and I'll see you in the next one.